49er mind is
It's not just a thought process, but a way of life.
49er mind. 49er mind.
Can't shake it. It's 49er mind that I got. It's 49er shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A red and gold session about our red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions, let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the spot? That's how it's been in the spot. Let's call that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the story line, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind.
49er mind.
It's not just a thought process,
49er mind,
but a way of life. For sure.
49er mind.
Way of life.
49er mind.
How's everybody going? Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. I know we're doing this coming off the L, but we're the diehard, we're the faithful, so we got to do this. I'd like you guys to say what's up to my co-host, who's been on here before, diehard Niner fan from Southern California, Wero Ski. How you doing, bro?
Well, not too good. But thanks for all the subscribers that are coming on so late. The real fans are going to show up win or lose, man. So props to you guys for showing up and not going in hiding.
Exactly, and a lot of that's going on, by the way. Let me say what's up to some people who are patiently waiting, as they deserve it the most. Got Jimmy Perez says, what's up, Bashar? Another L. I feel you, bro. E. Kim in the house. If you guys know him, Korean 49er, from calling on the Grant Cone Show. We got who else in the chat? We got fired up 49ers for the Pacific Northwest. Great to have you on, bro. The Shaw Show. Check out his YouTube channel. We got Real Teal. Great name. Says fire Wilkes and release Oliver. Great one. 765 says got to change that intro, my guy. I feel you, bro. I had hired somebody to make that intro actually, and I can make intros myself, just not as good, but I can make them. And one day I'll have to make a whole new intro, and not trust me, it's been in the back of my head, bro. You don't even know. John V, you and a lot of other 49er fans are saying the same thing. I'm heated. Anyways, if you guys don't know who John V is, check him out from the Locker Room Rant YouTube channel. He's been on here plenty of times. And for those who have been on here with me in the past, if you want to DM me to come on and you want the link, it's a free-for-all. This is only for those who have been on with me before. I'll say that much. But if you guys want to come on and have a little bitch session or whatever, or vent or rant or do whatever you got to do, you know me, we're fam. You guys are fam, and we'll do this shit. We got Master Eddie Kraft. He's been on here before. A really good friend of mine. My Sundays are for God, family, and the Niners. Niners have been a letdown lately, but I'm not giving up. For those of you who are religious, spiritual out there, I mean, this is a tough Sunday, but, we do have to give our pay and respects for the Lord Almighty, and I went to church after the game. But, tough loss, bro. 49ers Throwbacks here. Check him out on Twitter. He's got all kinds of great 49er throwback type videos, highlights, and all that stuff, and promotes everybody's channels. Great guy. Man, it's been a tough game, man. Seriously, it's been a really tough game. Tough 3 weeks. I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to just take any positives about going on. I'm still been streaming, still been doing my live streams, either previews or post game reviews or midweek reviews, whatever you want to call them. I know we've suffered through injuries, but other teams overcome these injuries and they find ways to win games. Case in point, the teams who have beaten us. I mean, at the end of the day, we just have to put up or shut up and get this over with, man, because this is just, I don't know what to say, man. It's just killing us. It's killing me. It's killing everybody. I just want a damn win. And now we're off to the bye week, so we got to wait for that next W whenever it happens.
Yeah, going in getting a win before the bye week would have been perfect, man. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And like you said, these last 3 weeks have been tough, man. Real tough. What's up, John V?
We got Fable JVC in the house. He says, man, we are moving in the wrong direction. Could have said it better myself. I put up a ton of crazy notes about this game because, hours after the game, I had a lot of family stuff to take care of. And eventually, once I actually had some free time on my hands, therefore, I had you come on with me, and we texted each other after the game. But we said, hey, let's set up a post game tonight. I know it's late, but we got to get this off of our chests. I'd rather do it today just to get it out of the way for the rest of the week and get it over with. But I'm just going to go over the key plays throughout the game, and we're just going to go from there. If people have questions, we'll definitely field your questions or field your comments. I'm definitely going to shout everybody out on this show like we do every show. And again, man, and let me say this really quick. I mentioned a little bit earlier. There are people jumping off of this 49 bandwagon. I'm talking like Niner fans. There are people who have no faith in Purdy, who hate Purdy, and will continue to hate on him now. And some of these people were diehard Trey Lance supporters, and I get that. But it's this is a Niner team. You got to support your Niner players. You got to support your Niner quarterbacks. I was looking to see what Trey Lance could do if he were given a true shot, a true opportunity. It never happened. The ship sailed. It is what it is. Purdy came in and started winning games last year and won some games for us this year. But again, guys, we just have to move on, and we're just in a different direction, man. Shay Lewis, what's up, bro? Been happy had you on the show. Love to get you back on in the future. If you want to come back tonight, hit me up on Twitter. I'll give you a link, actually, since I've had you on before. But as we are frauds, you know what? I was saying best team in the NFL after that Cowboy game. Maybe you were saying the same thing, Roski, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not so much worried because, like I was telling you earlier, this team has for the last couple of years, I've always started off slow. We get our L's in the beginning of the season, and then we seem to get hot at the end of the year. And you want to be hot going into the playoffs. And for the last couple of years, the Niners have been the hottest teams going into the playoffs. So just because we're 5-3, I'm not giving up. This team is still very talented. I mean, I don't know if you want to start touching on some of the stuff now, Bashar, or you want to go on to the stats. But I got a lot to say, man.
Oh, I know you do. Let's just do this. First, I'm gonna drop the box score stats a little bit later, but we'll go through some key plays of the game, and just we'll tell the story as it goes, and then later we'll bring up some box score stats. Definitely get down to that. So, really quick, let's just do this. On the first drive, the 49ers got stuffed on 3rd and 1. They ended up having a punt. They gave the ball to Juice. It wasn't that pretty, so we had to punt the ball away. Later in the game, with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, we had a first down. Joe Burrow threw it to Tyler Boyd, and then he beat Oliver. It is what it is, man. Oliver was kind of getting roasted all day, and they didn't score on that drive. We stopped them though. So the next drive, Purdy had a big scramble for a first down. It was nice to see Purdy be aggressive in terms of, hey, if I'm dropping back to pass, and I don't see my first read open just yet, maybe I don't see my second read open, but I see this lane and I could possibly run for a first down. Let me run for that. Were you okay with him doing that?
Dude, he was. I cannot complain when he was doing excellent, man. I loved it. I wish he learned how to slide. He was going down at first. Let's work on some slides, but I mean, the dude's it's not there, and he was taking off, and this is something we didn't expect from the kid. He's,
Yeah. I liked his mobility last year. I really did. So some people say he doesn't have any elite quarterback type traits, elite physical abilities. He's got some wheels on him, bro. I mean, he's not the fastest quarterback or anything like that. He's not Michael Vick, but he could definitely get out of the pocket when need be. He could run downfield when need be. So I definitely love that. We might have some people coming on, so just let you guys know. Expect a few other people coming out. Whoa, Shay Lewis with dropping the haymaker. He said Brock Ferrati got to be better. Whoa. Okay, whoa, that was pretty touchy right there. We might have some other people jumping on with us. I'm going to go back. For the record, Purdy ran for 6. He ran for 6 times, 57 yards, 9.5 a carry. I like that he was aggressive in that. Yeah, he does have to learn to slide. We don't want to see another situation, where he didn't. He was kind of in a weird situation where he didn't have enough room to slide, and we all remember what happened there. But yeah, furthermore, what happened later in the first quarter, the ball was at the 45-yard line. A few plays later, Purdy hit Ayuk for a 33-yard pass, and it was out at the 11-yard line. We were first and goal. Then we just gave the CMC up the gut for a touchdown. It was actually 7-7 at that point. Earlier, Tyler Boyd did have a touchdown. I forgot to mention that really quick. Soon after, horrible special teams coverage. We stopped them, but we stopped them at the 43-yard line. I didn't like the kickoff coverage at all in this game. But later, it was first and goal at the 33-yard line. And, this is the time when okay, so the Bengals drove down to the 3-yard line, and we jumped off sides like a bunch of bozos, and we just stopped as if the play was dead. You probably remember this, right? And then here goes Burrow just running around lollygagging, just as if it's backyard football, and nobody's trying to sack him. So of course he's going to throw a touchdown. Throws a touchdown right there, and he hit somebody I didn't even know who he was. Andre Iosavas, if that's the, he beat Mooney Ward in the right end zone. And that was that. That was pretty annoying. So what else happened the rest of the game? Further later in the game, Bengals had the ball 3rd and 9 at the 50-yard line. Burrow runs for a first down. It's I was mentioning Purdy running. It was really annoying that Burrow thought he was Michael Vick out there. What'd you think?
I think they were having trouble with his receivers, and they were trying to lock all these dudes down and just giving free lanes to Burrow. Props to Burrow. I mean, he did what he had to do. I mean, we're just having trouble on the secondary right now, and we'll go into that later.
Ekim, shout out to Ekim. Somebody in the chat mentioned something to you about something your father was going through. I don't know the details, but if that's the truth, just prayers go out to your father for a speedy recovery. Nobody wants to hear anything like that, so hopefully he's doing okay. But I see what you're saying here. You said Purdy hit adversity. See how he does in it when he played Jacksonville. I feel Brock got another concussion this game. So you think Brock got concussed? I saw you type it in the chat that Purdy may have been concussed. I didn't notice it during the game. I think you said it was towards the end. Where are you talking about the play where Purdy fumbled at the very end? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. We got a newcomer in the. Go ahead.
You could be talking about this one play where Purdy fell back and he slammed the back of his head on the turf. It looked bad. I don't know if he was concussed. I don't know if that caused anything, but it's usually I've seen a lot of concussions happen that way. When you fall straight back, you're not bracing yourself, and the whiplash goes right into the turf, back of the helmet. It was one of those. I believe that's what he's talking about. And then I think he grabbed his helmet.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. I just got the text where Brock Purdy grabbed his head, and somebody said that to me. It's a link to a Twitter video. So the guy who tweeted said, "I'll pretend nothing happened." So who knows? Hopefully, nothing did happen there. Great 1765. Good to see you, bro. He says, "Now they're gonna say Purdy concussed every bad game he plays now. I never seen a Niner quarterback get so many excuses." I don't know about that. I thought Jimmy had the longest leash of all leashes, so to speak. What do you think?
What do I think? I think Purdy's a second-year quarterback, and I think he's playing lights out for a second-year dude. I think the problem is that we're relying on him a little too much. We got this team full of all-stars, and we're relying on him to bail us out. The team needs to be realizing that Purdy's not a 5-year vet. So is it an excuse? I don't know, but I know that as far as a second-year quarterback, I like Brock Purdy. I'm not giving up on this dude. He hasn't done anything to upset me. Is 3 interceptions in a game acceptable? No, absolutely.
I thought it was 2. Was it 3?
I think he threw 3.
It was 2 on 1 fumble. It was 2 on 1 fumble. I'm looking at the box score right now.
Okay. The 3 turnovers.
For the record, he threw 22 out of 31 for 365. He was launching the ball downfield, guys. I mean, the defense was not doing their job. I get it. We had to play from behind a lot, and it sucked that he turned the ball over when we legitimately had a chance to come back and win. I get that. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. I get that. That one to where he was acting like he was going to throw it to Elijah Mitchell really pissed me off, because I totally thought that would be a play that we could hand it off to CMC or Mitchell, and then they did some stupid BS where it was a fake, and he's scrambling out to pretend like he's throwing it, and then the linebacker made a great play on the ball. Number 57, whoever he is, made an excellent play on the ball. It was just, and he almost had a pick 6. It sucked. It was just terrible to see that. Let me bring on Shaw Show. So, I know you're usually mild mannered, but we're gonna need you to bring some heat tonight, because we are not happy, and I haven't dropped any F-bombs like I normally do, but I will eventually later when I finish recapping the game and what's going on. And we're gonna bring you on those. This is Shaw Show. Check him out. Let me just move the brand thing on you really quick. Shaw Show is here, and I'm gonna switch the brand right around here. Shaw Show has his own YouTube channel. Really good dude. Collabed with him multiple times on different channels, and it wasn't a pretty day. Do you have anything that you want to add really quick before I finish recapping what happened in the first half?
Yeah. It's just, I think, really penalties continue to really kill us. I mean, the offense I thought was too bad, especially in the first half, because they did have that one drive where they didn't score. But and they just need to get into the end zone and figure out who who's really gonna get the ball, because with Debo, I mean, you gotta give it to Ayuk, and I didn't really see him much at all. And George Kittle, it was nice that he had that catch to end the first half. I just wish that we would have been able to score with that, but we just didn't
Yeah.
have any timeouts,
Yeah, I got
unfortunately.
you. Yeah, the penalties have been really bad the past 3 weeks. They've been terrible. There have been a few times where I thought a couple of shady calls here and there, but in general, we should be a lot more disciplined. We should not be sloppy like that. And it's been biting us in the ass big time, dude. I mean, you clear up those penalties, maybe we win 2 of the 3. You never know. Let me just welcome somebody who I'd never seen before in the chat. His name is Daniel Armstrong. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. We really very much appreciate it here at 49er Minded. He says, fire Steve Wilkes. As soon as the game was over, I put out a tweet, and some people weren't happy with what I had to say. At this point, it's like I'm just gonna read the tweet out loud for you guys, because basically I said is, if we fire Steve Wilkes, there's a good chance I won't blink an eye. Now, I haven't been the ultimate Steve Wilkes fan, where I think he's the greatest D coordinator of all time, but I thought he's done a fairly good job prior to these losses. But what I saw today was ugly. I mean, it was despicable. I guys like Fred at the talent level of Fred Warner and Drake Greenlaw should not be out of place, chasing people from behind, tackling people when they've already got the first down and then some. These guys are dogs, especially Green. I love Greenlaw. I mean, Fred Warner is amazing at doing certain things, but I'm sorry, these guys do not look like themselves, man. They don't. You guys can touch on it really quick, and I'm going to recap the rest of the first half right after that.
So last year, we needed the pass rush because our weakness was the secondary. This year, we're not getting that pass rush, and they're picking us apart. The best guy, our best corners, is supposedly Ward, and these teams, the Vikings just went right after this dude. The Bengals went right after him, and then, as far as I'm concerned, the weakest link of this defense is Oliver's coverage skills. I'm not saying Oliver's a bad player, but we need a corner, man. And there was a play where Oliver was on Chase, and I was like, dude, if that's not a mismatch, bro, if that's not how did we allow Oliver to cover Chase? Chase got a touchdown on him, and no double coverage. No, he just outran Oliver. Now I don't see the whole play. You'll have to see the breakdown to see exactly what broke down. But as far as I'm concerned, Oliver's the weakest link right now. And I don't know if in these last games could have started with that Viking game. If they're saying, hey, you got to watch Ward, he's grabbing, he's really handsy. And these referees have been tearing them apart with these flags, man. And there was one, they threw a flag on them that I thought was ticky-tack. These refs are getting out of control. It's like they want offenses to score this year. They're not letting these dudes play. Let's play physical football. We're a physical team, and the refs, these flags are throwing. I'm not cool with it, man. I'm not cool with it at all.
Neither am I. We're gonna have but let me just bring him on right here. Let me take this overlay off, because we got an extra person coming on. It's probably gonna be a full house for us right here. I don't see you on camera. I don't know if you're trying to get on camera or not, Treyway, but we do have Treyway on here. He's been on here before. Shay Lewis in the chat. Before I finish recapping the first half, you can go ahead and have your 2 cents on anything you want to say. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so I really think that the defense, I mean, it's just like they seem to not be. I don't think Steve Wilkes was putting guys in proper positions, because I've seen continuous where it's just guys are farther away from whoever they're covering, which we're not used to. This man thing is not working. And we need to go back to zone, and I really think Steve Wilkes is changing up more things than we probably thought he would. He's trying to add his own spin on it, and I get that the pressure hasn't been as good, so we have been trying to blitz, but the Niners have never even been that heavy of a blitzing team, so we gotta stop doing that. And I feel like just go to what we've done in the past because it's been very successful. So,
Okay. Hey Treyway, you there, bro?
Oh yeah, I'm here, man.
Uh,
I thought I didn't know if Hiroski was still going. I didn't want to cut
Oh no,
anybody off.
no, you're good. Yeah, I want you to have your 2 cents because soon after I'm going to recap the rest of the first half and then read a couple of comments. But go ahead since you wanted to jump on. I know you got some things on your mind.
Oh no, I mean, listen, I mean, I think it's very easy to blame somebody who's new to this team. Obviously, there's always going to be a scapegoat in any operation, and I think when you're not winning and you're losing, things kind of like I don't want to say things get emphasized, but it brings us a certain spotlight on certain things that the defense is doing that's different. But in totality, I think as much as we're blaming Wilkes, I think the defense as a whole needs to like the players themselves have to be accountable, right? So in my estimate and what I'm seeing out there, just based upon simple film, is going into the Browns game, right? The 49ers were the best tackling team without a doubt. The next day, I think they only had 18 missed solo tackles, which was phenomenal. The closest team next to them had 36. They had 18 missed tackles just in the Browns game. That continued in the Vikings game. And then you turn on the film today and you see Fred Warner's getting trucked, missing tackles, 20-yard run by Mixon. Dre Greenlaw, the enforcer, gets trucked by Joe Mixon, missed another tackle, another 20-yard run. Like, at some point, we have to start holding the players just as accountable. Now, if people want to kick Wilkes out, I'm fine with that. I mean, I think that Wilkes is, someone's going to be the scapegoat. I don't think Wilkes has done a good job either. I think, what is it, the Shasho or Anshul? I think he brought a great point. I think there's players, and you did too, Bashar. You said sometimes these guys are in the midst and not in the right areas before pre-snap, right? They're not in situations where it's like, why is Fred Warner over there? Like, that makes no sense. The defensive isn't aligning up correctly. So I'll agree with you guys on that one. But also, too, there's things where it's like, this ain't a Wilkes problem. When Joe Burrow should have been sacked and he not only broke Armstead, but broke Nick Bosa's tackle, you're like, well, that's not a Wilkes problem. The pressure got there. Why aren't we tackling up? So I think it's a combination of everything. And I agree with Hiroski. Like, I don't think you should panic, but I will say that I think this team does have an identity problem as far as right now, what we want to do. And so we were that bully team that we're accustomed to being, but it seems as of late, at least the last 3 games that we've lost, we've been the ones that have been getting bullied. And it all starts from the trenches on offense and defensive line. I think that's where something that I'm looking at Chris Sarek and our offensive line coach to definitely, and obviously, the O-line is definitely, has a lack of talent, but the defensive line it probably is making $300 million in total salary, and that's 3/4 of our cap. They have to be better at some point. Like we these guys have to start getting home. They have to be 4 to 5 sacks a game. I mean, you have a guy that you just paid $80 million for 4 years for, and Hargraves, Armstead's making 21 by himself just this year, and then Nick Bosa is the highest paid non-quarterback, in history right now. So something has to change. And, if they use Wilkes as the reason, it better be that when he leaves, that they make an adjustment and there's actually, the defense is a lot better. So that's just my 2%.
No,
But I'll
good,
stay with you guys.
You laid on some good points. Go ahead, Roski.
no, good talk, Trey. Wait, fire,
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah. I like it. It's a different point of view, but I definitely like it. And you said the bully thing. I do some collabs with Raj from RS of 49ers. Check him out. Everybody knows who Raj is. He's like a celebrity in these Niner streets. But he said it like when the Vikings and the Browns are coming out with that damn boombox before the game. I know it's not on the field, but that they're sending out a message that we're not scared of you guys. Like haha, they're clowning us. You know what I mean? It's like teams aren't fearing us anymore like they used to, man. What's up, Niner Sickness Podcast? Beto, I see you, bro. Yeah, I've been talking about trying to recap the rest of the game. Let me just do that really quick. I mentioned some plays. I mentioned how we gave up that stupid touchdown where Burrow was running around when we committed the penalty and nobody was trying to sack him earlier in the game, in the first quarter. And later in the game, the Bengals had the ball, and it was third and 7 at the 30-yard line. Burrow got sacked by Armstead, and lo and behold, the Bengals missed a kick. So that was a nice one. Later on, Purdy had play action right to the right sideline to Brandon Ayuk. He This is the 40-yard line. Hit him on the other 40-yard line, basically a 20-yard gain. Beautiful throw. A lot of nice downfield throws by Brock in this game, by the way. 3rd-14. Purdy scrambles to the 16-yard line. No face mask call, apparently. If we got the face mask call, we probably get a touchdown. But Moody was called out to kick the field goal to the 36-yard line. Boom, he makes it. Later on, the Bengals, Irv Smith fumbles at the 5-yard line. Isaiah Oliver recovers, which is nice. 31 seconds left. It was only 31 seconds left in the game at that point, and we had the ball at the 5-yard line. But Purdy backs up, throws a deep shot down the field, 40 yards down the field to Kittle. But I kind of saw this as poor clock management too, and that we didn't have much time. CMC runs it out to the 40-yard line. Sorry, from the 40-yard line to the other 45. But the time expires. We had no field goal, no touchdown, and then boom, end of half. What'd you guys think?
I think we should have did what the Vikings did and had some players go down, save ourselves some timeouts.
Man, they should have had that in their bag. I feel you on that one. How about you guys on Treyway and Anshul?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think yeah, it's just the clock management definitely was a big issue because I was like, man, we just got that big gain. If we could have at least gotten 3, but it's just we didn't have the timeout. We couldn't even go out of bounds. So definitely poor clock management. And a lot of times, this isn't just this game, but a lot of times Kyle Shanahan just doesn't seem to really care as much to like score. He's just so quick about, all right, let's go to the halftime. It's like when you're down, you need to be able to score before half. You want to have some of that momentum with you back. So, yeah, that was totally bad clock management.
Yeah. You think you would have ran a play towards the sidelines, right? To get a bounce or something? I mean, it's like a total way. And Purdy was launching the ball down the field throughout this game, but it was all for nothing. I mean, this is a nice comment right here. Fable, what up, Fable? See you, bro. Fable JVC says, I think Bosa is frustrated by the soft zone coverage. He got the bag, and he's not going all out because he knows the quarterback will just hit someone wide open underneath. I don't know, man. Other people are talking shit about Bosa getting the bag. Bosa got the bag and dipped. E. Kim says Bosa isn't being double teamed this season. Bosa was non-existent today. I don't remember what play it was, at what point in the game it was, but I saw Bosa get off the line, and he looked slow as shit getting off the line of scrimmage. Like, yeah, no wonder why quarterbacks are just sitting back there in the pocket. Like, come on, dude. You got to be fired up getting off that line of scrimmage. You got to set that tone. You got to set that pace.
Yeah, this team, these last 3 games is not playing the same way they played that Dallas game. When they played that Dallas game, they were firing on all cylinders. These dudes are like, they're like on vacation right now or something. I don't know what's going on. And to speak on Bosa, there might be something happening in the locker room because did you see him when he tried to criticize Wilkes? He said something
last
like,
week.
Yeah, we're used to rushing like 3 guys or something like that. And he stopped himself. And people say, oh, that's Bosa. You know, he's kind of like Spicoli, just laid back, chill. He stopped himself from criticizing his coach. I think there's something going on. I don't think the defense is happy. I don't think they like the schemes. Treyway made a point that he doesn't want to put all the blame on Wilkes. If I'm going to be critical of Wilkes, I'm not saying get Wilkes out. I'm not saying that. But if I'm going to be critical of Wilkes, Wilkes has a very talented defense. Okay, he took over a very talented defense. Second, when they got torched in that Viking game, nothing got worked on and improved this game. It's a repeat of last week. Secondary got torched. We can't get to the quarterback, and because we can't get to the quarterback, our secondary is being toast out there.
Plenty of blame to go around. What do you think, Treyway? Is you still there, bro? Or maybe you stepped away.
No, I'm here, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, I will say the one adjustment that Wilkes did make, though, right, was they were complaining about the blitz. I think they only had 1 blitz this game, and we got 2 sacks. So there's a start, but again, I mean, I agree with you guys. I'm just giving my perspective as in, okay, cool, we're gonna blame Wilkes. That's fine. I think Wilkes needs to be held accountable too. I don't think he's done a really good job. I think that it was when we brought him in, there was talks about, okay, well, you know, Chris Urk's going to handle the defensive line. Fred in the linebacker core is already stout. You already got like a gold jacket player there. We were lacking in the secondary. So now that we have a defensive coordinator that's more of a secondary type of coach, he's more of a DB coach, there'd be a point of emphasis on, okay, the secondary is going to be better. But the secondary has ultimately, if not been the worst or just as bad as the D-line. Too much cushion. You're letting these guys eat you up 5 to 8 yards on these short passes, these intermediate routes. So you thought that was going to be shored up, but it hasn't been by Wilkes. So again, I agree with everybody. I think Wilkes definitely is, if he's on the chopping block, he's on the chopping block. My whole point is if you get rid of him and you scapegoat him, but the problem still consists with missing tackles, us not getting to the D-line, we're going to look real foolish on like, well, maybe it wasn't Wilkes. It was actually this D-line has to just play better entirely. So I think it's a combination of both, and that's why this defense doesn't look as dominant as it has, especially as of late. So, like I said, I feel like the bye week couldn't happen at such a better time, and the 49ers just, like I said, I think they got to do a lot of soul-searching, digging deep, and like instead of everybody pointing fingers, I think they just got to everybody hold each other accountable and hold yourselves accountable and look in the mirror. Take a long look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I got to play better, because they all have to play better from top to bottom.
It's time for a gut check, man. I feel you on that. Let me catch up with a couple of these comments. I'm going to get to the box score because I didn't really cover the box score just yet. Let me say what's up to Master of Any Craft. He was on here on one of the Pros pregame shows last week. Says we should consider hiring Richard Sherman at DC. I think he's comfortable making tons of money in that announcing booth in TNF. And I love watching Sherman as an analyst. I think he's very entertaining. He's got great takes. He's been an amazing player on the field. And, it was a former Seahawks. He'll play for the Niners for a little bit, but I shout out to Sherman, though. 49ers throwback says, I've seen Dallas fans talking shit. I'm used to it. I'm not even responding. Hey, they're going to talk their shit because they think that, hey, you beat us. You won your Super Bowl. Hey, we still beat their ass. So I don't give a fuck if you Dallas guys are watching. We beat the shit out of you guys. And the fucking Texas boy, where the fuck has Texas boy been this whole time, man? He was trying to troll my chat before that Cowboys game. I don't see his ass. Fired Up 49ers says, as soon as they started doing quarterback spy and blitzing, we started getting pressure. Let me hit up that box score really quick because let's talk about what the Niners are doing really quick. Mention it, I'll mention it again. Purdy, 22 for 31, 365 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. 6 carries for 57 yards for Purdy. CMC, 12 carries for 54 yards, 1 touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, 3 carries for 2 yards. That's not going to cut it, bro. Receiving, Kittle, excellent day. 9 receptions, 149 yards, 11 targets, no touchdowns. He did his thing, though. Brandon Ayuk, 5 catches, 109 yards. Again, he did his thing, too. CMC, 6 catches, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. Ray McLeod, 2 catches, 43, not bad. I mentioned the fumble earlier. The interception, Isaiah Oliver had a pass deflection and a fumble recovery. It shows CMC. It shows Charvarius Ward on the box score. He was just getting toasted all day long. Leading tackler Talanoa Hufanga with 8 tackles. Isaiah Oliver, obviously, because he was getting beat, 5 tackles. Tayshaun Gibson, 4 tackles. Fred Warner, 4 tackles. Greenlaw, 3 tackles. Armstead, 2 sacks. Bosa had a half a sack, and Clelin Ferrell had a half a sack as well. And you guys want to touch on anything that I've read in terms of the box score? Go right ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to talk about Isaiah Oliver real quick because, yes, I know he gets toasted, especially in the passing game, and he gave up that touchdown. But the one thing I loved that I saw from him is how he was going after in the run game, because they tried to do those jet sweeps, and the Bengals were not successful whatsoever because Isaiah Oliver just was able to get there quickly and get those tackles. So I will say I really liked that from Isaiah Oliver today.
Yeah, no doubt.
Go ahead.
No doubt. He's an extremely good tackler, extremely good on the run. Problem is they're picking on Ward, and they're picking on they've been picking on these 2 dudes for the last 3 weeks. And we need a scheme for this, man. We need to get these dudes. We can't put these dudes in these positions because it's not working out for us.
I feel you, man. Let me just remind you, everybody, that there is a poll going on in the chat. Basically, it's a Steve Wilkes poll. You can put 2 and 2 together what the poll is about. Click on it, engage on the poll, like and subscribe on the channel. Let me say what's up to the official 1999. Welcome to the channel. If you're not like to subscribe to the channel, hit those things up really quick. But let me read this really quick. He says, I've said since the second game, this defense wasn't the same one from last season, and here it is. We have to fix this defense. We got to fix it one way or another. I mean, do we make a move? Do we make a trade? Does Shanahan sit down with Wilkes and just pick his brain and tell him what can we do to get things right. I mean, just like Treyway said, a lot of soul searching that we got to do. Great 1765 said trade the Vikings. I don't know if he's just making things up or if it's a real trade. I don't know if we get some clarity on that, unless he's joking. Fired Up 49er says most of our players know what works from the last couple of years, and they're having to change everything. My only knock is on Wilkes. Yeah, Wilkes has got to, if he's going to be sticking around, he's got to fix things. Anything you guys want to touch on really quick before I go to the Bengals box score?
Well, I have something concerning the box score, so I'll let you finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, one of the problems we have on offense is time of possession. I don't know what the time of possession was today. I don't think it was in our favor. And until we start getting these times of possession in our favor, we're going to be in trouble. We can't get a 100-yard rusher. We need to be a run-heavy team. We're a physical team. We need to be run first. We're not doing that right now. Shanahan, I don't like some of the plays he's calling. I want to go back to basics, back to the foundation. We need to establish a run game. Is Trent Williams that valuable that when this dude's not on the line, everything just falls apart? Is he that valuable? The other thing is we don't have the Swiss Army knife in Debo. Changes the whole offense. But one thing's for sure. We need to establish the run game first, and we need to start winning the time of possession. Without that, we're going to be coming from behind like we did the Browns and the Vikings. We're just gonna fall behind, bro.
The time of possession was a whole lot worse than the previous two games. Actually, watching it, I felt like it was terrible, but it was only a 3-minute differential. So today it wasn't necessary. I mean, they had the ball 31 minutes, 23 seconds. We had the ball 28 minutes, 37 seconds. We actually had better for third down efficiency than the Bengals. We had the 55% as opposed to 37%, but we were penalized more 5-1. That was part of it. Sacks, they had 3 sacks. We had 2. The 2 interceptions were a big deal. We were equal on the fumbles, and a lot of the times it was timing. We were down. We were close to score, or like right before the half, we moved down the ball hella close. Poor clock management. The other time we were down close, and Brock throws that interception to the linebacker, and a lot of iffy, weird, ticky-tacky things took place, man. Michael Alanis is in chat. A lot of people know him as Big Show. Big Show. He says, what's up, Bash and Shea Lewis? Just read that the Falcons offered a 3rd-round pick for Montez Sweat and are expecting to trade for Jonathan Allen. I'd offer them a 3rd for Allen and the Bears and a 4th for Jalen Johnson. Okay, I got you. I don't know if it's been finalized. You're just hearing rumors or what, man? All right, so let me get to the Bengals part of the box score really quick in terms of their individual stats, who killed us and what happened. Joe Burrow, I was expecting Joe Burrow to have a good game. I wasn't expecting him to lay down and be just a sorry quarterback for us. I was expecting him to normalize and become good again. All the Kirk Cousins did last week to us. 28 for 32, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. What killed me was Joe Mixon. That fool, man. 16 carries, 87 yards, 5.44 per carry, 1 touchdown. And when he got his touchdown, he made a show of it. And at that point, I don't blame him. We were getting our ass kicked. I probably would have did the same thing. Joe Burrow, 6 runs for 43 yards. That was totally annoying. Receiving wise, we're talking Jamar Chase, which is killing us. 10 receptions, 100 yards. Targeted 12 times, 1 touchdown. T. Higgins, 5 receptions, 69 yards. Tyler Boyd, 3 receptions, 40 yards. Irv Smith, 4 receptions, 25 yards, and so on. And they had a few fumbles, but we didn't capitalize on certain things. Let me read this comment really quick from Fable JVC. He says, I noticed Purdy starting to stare. I noticed it too. Forgot what throw it was exactly. It might have been on the interception that he threw later in the game where he was trying to target Ayuk. I believe it was that one. And the linebacker got it. He said, I noticed Purdy is starting to stare people down a lot on his throws down the whole play. I've seen him look off defenders in his time. Not sure why we started staring down his target so frequently. Maybe it's the confidence because he's had so much success. I don't want him to keep doing that. I know once Colin Kaepernick started doing that in his career, things went downhill for him. And just a reminder, guys, participate in the poll that we have. Go and cast your votes in the poll about Steve Wilkes. We got some questions about 49ers throwback says we need a huge upgrade at center and right tackle. I like Jake Brendel, but he's not powerful. He's a smaller, undersized center. He's pretty athletic. He's mobile. He's skillful, but we need guys who are more built, man. I'm sorry, and this whole Shanahan idea of having undersized linemen, it does not cut it on the right side of the line. When you have a beast like Trent Williams, who's a huge mountain of a man, why not replicate that on other side parts of the D line, offensive line? I don't get that at all. What do you guys think, man, in general, in terms of everything that I've covered? If you guys want to add to it.
Well, the only thing I want to say is when you lose like we did today, and we lose like we did versus the Vikings, there's blame to go all the way
Of
around.
course.
Like Trey said, these guys need to look in the mirror, bro.
Definitely do, man. Nobody can be, it's nice to have pieces like Debo around, and Trent Williams is a road grader, but I'm sorry, man. You got to step up, next man up. And this is my complaint for Kyle right here, though, in terms of passing the blame around. Like, Ronnie Bell in the preseason showed me that he's a capable NFL receiver. Now, I know he's a rookie, but I don't care. He's a 4-year veteran. He's a 4-year college veteran. His dad is a college wide receiver coach. This guy has the fundamentals. He's not the fastest, not the biggest, not the strongest guy, but he showed me that he has hands, he has fight, he has heart, a lot of intangibles. And the preseason he was showing that, in training camp he was showing it, but we're not using him in regular season games. And it's like, this is my argument with Kyle, man. If we have all these picks and then we draft players and then we're not using them to help us throughout the season, why not trade all these picks for known commodities, right? If we're going to need people to get us over the hump, rather than just have rookies just sit and rot their careers on the roster or rot on the practice squad. I don't know. I think it bothers me. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I don't also understand, like, why is Jordan Mason not getting snaps for, like, the second straight week? Because what has he done when he's come in? He's been averaging, like, 5 yards a carry. Put him inside. CMC wasn't doing as good today. Like, put in Jordan Mason, because Jordan Mason's that, kind of like a Marshawn Lynch when I think of Jordan Mason. So Jordan Mason, I get that he had fumbles and stuff, but that was in camp. He hasn't really done that in games, so they need to give him the chance. But
Jordan Mason's a nice runner, man. I don't know why he doesn't get as many touches. He just does it, man.
I think they were just falling so far behind that you got to keep McCaffrey in there, because McCaffrey's the kind of guy that's you give him the ball enough, he's gonna bust one. And when they're starting to fall behind, you can't afford to have like your second best dude out there. You need to have your best dudes out there. That's why I was kind of critical of Bell. I think, to me personally, Jennings is a better receiver. Was Jennings even targeted today? Do you know, Bashar?
I don't even remember if he was. I can check on the box score really quick.
Once.
I don't remember him being targeted at all, actually, which is rare, because usually we get him involved. Even though he started today, obviously, but when he's not a starter, I don't see any targets for him at all.
Yeah,
not on the box score. Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. What do you think, Treyway?
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, Niners just gotta, they gotta right the ship. I think, Hero said something about it earlier too. Like, they do this in the Kyle Shanahan era. They have these lapses. Sometimes it's early on in the season, and then they right the ship and get hot in the back end season. And so, I guess in 2021, when they were 3-5 and staring down the barrel, what they did was he utilized Debo, right, as not only as a pass catcher, but then as the running back, right, because we needed more explosive runs. So they used that formula. And then if you fast forward you go to last year, what did they do coming out when they were 3-4 after losing to the Chiefs? Before the Chiefs game, who did they trade for? They traded for Christian McCaffrey, right? That revitalized the offense, and the offense became very explosive. And then after that, they played the infamous Rams game where he threw a touchdown, caught a touchdown, did everything for us in that game. And then, they stacked W's there. So I do think that they make some, trade. I do think they trade for some players. I don't know who. They definitely need another cornerback in the slot. I know Unshul was giving props to Isaiah Oliver, which I think if Isaiah Oliver plays any other position besides cornerback, I think he would be a solid guy. He's a good run defender. But sorry, buddy, you play cornerback. And what do you need to do as a cornerback? You need to cover. And I'm sorry, but as many tackles he had in the backfield doesn't make up for the 2 touchdowns he gave up, right? Because the whole point of playing defense is to keep guys out the end zone. And he got burnt not once but twice. So that's just unacceptable, especially on this kind of defense we have. So I think the Jimmy Ward leaving, even though he didn't want to play slot, them not finding an actual adequate replacement is really, really looking like, damn, you guys probably should have gotten a real nickel because, as much as y'all thought Isaiah Oliver was something, this guy is getting cooked not once, but, twice a game now. He got cooked in the Vikings game multiple times. He even got cooked in the Dallas game, but nobody talks about it because we won those games. So I just think that, they got a lot of problems, and I think they have a lot of solutions for them. So I'm hoping that, the coaching staff takes a good long, good long week or the bye week to address these problems, and they come back and we get back on the right track, man. Because this like Karowski said, this roster's too talented for us. And I'm sorry, I love Trent and he's a Hall of Famer, but you're telling me we can't get any push now? Like he's that vital? So someone said it early in the spaces. And if that's the case, that you can't win a couple games without some star players, then this team is a glass cannon. We can go ahead and put a point with the best of them, but as soon as somebody chips the glass, the whole thing falls apart. So, Purdy got to play better, man. That's it. That's really it.
True. I mean, he had his moments where he was nice, but at the end of the day, it's 4 quarters of football. That's what 100%. It is.
And I think, I think they, like I said, when I said about the identity crisis, I think they're trying to figure out like who Purdy is as a player. And like I said, I'm not gonna indict Purdy as anything right now, but we went from early on in the season, the first 5 games, Purdy looked like he was playing at a top 5 quarterback level, top 10 franchise type player. He was playing above the system. And then the last 3 games kind of show like, okay, well, maybe you do need some star talent around you. My thing is this, Purdy to me is better than Jimmy. And my brother made a great analogy about this. I don't think Purdy is the driver or the truck, but he's not the trailer. To me, Purdy is the hitch. So he's in the middle and he's carrying. And like you said, Bashar, we see some plays that, hey, damn, Jimmy can't do that. Jimmy won't even be able to do that. But then you also see some Jimmy-like plays where it's like he's looking down the linebacker and he's throwing right at him. So I think we've seen that on time, on schedule. I think this offense flows with Purdy really well, and I don't think he makes too many mistakes while he's on time. But if you're asking him to throw you out of bad situations in the fourth quarter, I just don't think it's going to end well for this team. So I think, I think they know what they have in these guys, and I'm hoping for a better second half of the season, man. Definitely.
Yeah, we all are, man. Hopefully, Purdy develops. He's still very, very young.
100%.
He hasn't played. I don't think he's played up to 16 games or 17 games yet. Maybe this is his 13th game played total, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody else wants to correct me on that, feel free to. I want to read up some of the chats really, really quick, and then I'm going to recap the second half. Fable JVC was talking about the draft. He says, I hope our next draft doesn't overemphasize defensive line in the early rounds for once. LOL. I hope we put those early picks into O-line and defensive backs. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I was pounding the table on Niners Sickness podcast live draft show when I was on there. I was there for all 3 rounds, and I was saying, let's draft DeJuan Jones. Kyle didn't do it, and people shit on me on Twitter, said he's not a Kyle Shanahan guy. He's too fat. He's too big. He's too slow. He won't fit the scheme. But I don't know. He made Bosa look kind of bad when we played the Browns. Is all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, that was your guy, huh? You wanted him, huh, Bashar?
Well, not just me. A whole bunch of dudes. Ryan Hensley.
But I
and a few
remember
other
you were saying
people
that when we were early in the draft, man, and
yeah,
that would have been a great pick, man. I'm just saying.
It would have been, because everybody kept saying that he wasn't going to be available. I was saying I want him, and people were telling me on Twitter, oh, well, he won't be available when we pick. I was like, oh, okay. Then I saw him available 3 times. Like, let's get him. And when I saw him get booty, I was like, oh, but come on.
Yeah,
now.
I don't understand like Kyle Shanahan when it comes to that too, because it's like you're spending, and even John Lynch, because obviously he's going to be the GM, so he would make technically, I guess, kind of the final decision. But it's just, I don't get why we don't draft offensive line. And going back to Trent Williams, right? He's going up in age. Now he's been missing a few games the past 3-4 years. Go get yourself a guy that can also be the starting left tackle of the future, because you have Trent Williams right now. That way he can also learn underneath Trent Williams. And then when Trent Williams all of a sudden retires, you aren't going to be surprised, and you have a replacement right there. And so the Niners need to absolutely go and get that offensive line figured out. And I think, I've been a big Spencer Burford fan, but I don't know what's going on with him too, because he's just
way too many penalties, man.
Yeah. Go get yourself also right guard.
He's the equivalent of Greenlaw on the defense, bro. He's as good. He's good for a bad penalty at least once or twice a game. It's insane how many penalties he gets as an offensive lineman.
Yeah, he had one where on the one play where he threw the interception, where Purdy threw the interception where he looked like he was going to throw Elijah Mitchell. He was downfield on that play like he was a fucking receiver.
He was downfield on that play. He got hands to the face this year. A couple false starts. He has a lot of holding. Like it's just. I'm gonna start calling him Greenlaw, man. This is crazy. But
I had a lot of hope for him because they kept saying at training camp and mini camps that have you seen Burford? He's all cut up now. He's ripped.
Yep.
He's more muscular now. He's bigger. He's fat, just as fast as he was last year. He's just as quick. I was like, damn, this guy took care of himself, took care of his body. He's primed and ready for a better season. And it's for whatever reason, man, he's been sloppy as shit out there. John V has a comment. He says, Shayway and panel. Can this team make the playoffs the way it's constructed? Would they make a huge mistake spending capital on a mid team that could potentially miss the playoffs? You're saying on a trade or something like that. I say go for it, man. I say go for whatever trade you can get. And we definitely have the players in the talent to go to the Super Bowl to make a run in the playoffs, despite these major lapses that we've encountered. What do you guys think? Go ahead, Treyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You follow him on Treyway. Let him go.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, like, obviously, I think we're all in. I mean, you got Hall of Fame guys that are here. And Trent Williams. They all deserve a ring. I think everybody here deserves a ring. So I say you go in for the push. Just don't give up the first rounder. I think the first rounder has to be locked for a tackle next year. I'm praying they draft a tackle, but knowing the Niners, they might draft an edge, which is absurd. But draft as long as you keep the first intact and don't give up too much. The Niners do have 12 picks, so if you give about 4 or 5 of that away, I'm okay with that. But they definitely do need to bring in some guys now. But again, you're just wasting everybody's time. And basically, what you told the fan base and promised the fan base on, well, we gave 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance and we shipped them off. So, okay, well, since you did that, you told us we're going to win now. So please let us win now. You traded for McCaffrey. He didn't come to not win now. We're trying to win now. So, Trent being here, everybody being here. So, like I said, the bye week couldn't have happened at a better time. Like I said, we look like we're having a lot of problems, but I think they got a lot of solutions. And I definitely think that, as much as we love Kyle, or, don't like him, whatever, the one thing you can't, critique him on is he definitely finds a way to adjust. And that's why, a lot of people have been picking from our lot. Like, McDaniels is gone, Salah's gone, D'Amico's gone. So this guy knows how to face adversity, get his coaches, we're a well-coached team, get his coaches to coach up to what, to our standards and go win ball games, man. And I definitely think they should definitely go all in for this year, whether it be bringing in, 2 or 3 guys, that can make an impact immediately.
Yeah, I agree with you. I say make some moves if possible. Like I mentioned earlier, Shanahan doesn't play certain rookies anyways, so why not make some moves for some proven commodities? Rate 1765 says 17 points, 3 straight weeks. Purdy not getting it done. He is to blame when the Niners are winning. It's Purdy this and Purdy that. Kind of reminds me of Breezy this, Breezy that. I got the Niners on my back. Shout out to Breezy. But now offense can't score, and it's excuse after excuse for Purdy. What do you guys think about that?
I think, yeah. I mean, absolutely. There's blame to go around to everyone, and Purdy's not exempt from that. But like I said, my biggest issue on offense is we got to establish the run game, and we have to control the clock. That's my issues on offense. Until we get that settled out, we can't have Purdy try to bail us out of these games. We need to support him to win the games. We can't count on him to. Not right now to bail us out. He almost bailed us out in that Brown game, True.
Moody hits that field goal.
Yeah, which was good to see, right? But my opinion, the problem on offense is we need a ground and pound and control the clock.
I couldn't agree more. I think the best way I'm gonna try to see what Hiroski is saying is basically just complementary football. You control the clock, give defense breaks. You guys are just all one right now. It just seems too sporadic, whether the defense is out there for too long, the offense is, not sustaining drives as long as we want them to. And I agree with you. Like like if you look at the splits, it seems the past 4 or 5 weeks we've been a passing team. When has that ever been a thing? Well, last time I checked, Kyle said if we only pass 20 times and we run for 30 plus, we most likely win the ball game. Well, we're not running for 30 plus times right now, and I completely agree. Like, I don't care if they're saying, oh, we're not getting up. I don't run the ball some more. Like, establish the run, and like you even said, Bashar, if you're not going to give Jordan Mason, who is an extreme explosive contact guy, probably the heaviest runner in between the tackles, the ball, then go get fucking Derrick Henry. Then
Derrick Henry, right,
go
or
get
even
Derrick
Connor,
Henry because
or even Connor, or
because he's a veteran and you trust veterans. So go get them then, because at some point, I don't know where we thought that, hey, we're no longer going to establish the run anymore just because we get blown up on a couple plays. Nah, man, double down on that stuff. Like, I agree with her. Control the clock, run the fucking ball. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cuss on your show. Run the ball.
I've cussed plenty on here, bro.
Run the ball and establish the run, man. Go ahead, Anshul.
I was gonna say you read my mind because I was gonna mention let's trade for running backs. But I'm glad you thought what I was thinking. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you guys both said, Hiroski and Treyway, this team's been a run-first team, and when they aren't able to successfully run the football, they're gonna lose because they have to pass the ball, and like they're not that type of team. So they really need to figure out this running game, and I don't understand why just missing Trent Williams is really affecting this team, because I think that, yes, Trent Williams is a big part of this offense, but they should be able to find a way. And like I also mentioned before, why don't you use Jordan Mason too? Because he's been successful whenever he's been in the game. So whatever you need to do, Kyle Shanahan, whoever needs to get the ball, I think Mitchell, unfortunately, just is kind of done because he just can't find any way to really do anything anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, give it to Jordan Mason at times too. I don't get why you have to all of a sudden move off of that, especially the past 2 weeks.
These last games they've been stacking the line, right? Put a lot of defensive dudes down on the line. Shanahan, let's start scheming, bro. If they're putting let's start scheming. Something has to happen though. And to go back to John B's question, do we trade? In my opinion, we need a cornerback right now. We can't continue the season with Oliver as one of our cornerbacks. We need a cornerback right now, first and foremost. I think when Trent comes back, when Debo comes back, the offense might look better. But right now, they're picking on the secondary. I texted my
Mooney Ward's looking really bad nowadays.
They're going right at him, dude. That's just wild to me, bro. That's wild to me.
Hey, he looks like prime Josh Norman right now with the holes or a pass interference a game right now. It's crazy.
He's not even giving you the peanut punch though.
And I texted my cousin earlier today. I was like, have they cracked the code on the defense, bro? Have they? I mean, the last 2 games were identical, dude. They're lighting us up, bro. What are we doing to stop it?
Good question from Fable. JVC says, could we see what Denver wants for K'Wan Williams or maybe get DJ Jones back? A lot of people are screaming for Patrick Surtain. He's going to come at a high price tag, but hey, if we can make it happen some way, somehow, do it. Get it done. Make it happen. Let me say what's up to some people who just popped in. We got Tacky Wacky. What's up, guys? Just got out. We're glad I made it. Great to have you guys here. Lionel Senesiros, if I'm saying that right. Just like Richard Sherman says, run the damn ball. That would help, right? Stephen Moss, not sure if he's related to Randy, but he says, Niners are missing Trent Williams and Debo Samuels. Yes, they sure are. Definitely. Get rid of Elijah. He's injury prone. Yeah, definitely. Frank Tom Ocean says, yo, bro, great to see you. Unfortunately, we did have to take that out. Let me finish with the second half recap because I didn't get to that. Last time I left, we were done doing the first half recap. So let's just do the second half, and then we'll touch on a few things. Early in this third, 2nd and 9, Burrow had the ball at the 40-yard line, ran it all the way to the other 40. He was looking like Michael Vick all game long, making us look stupid. After that, Bengals hit a 56-yard field goal with 17-10 Bengals. 2nd and 18, later in the game, Purdy hits Kittle for a 35-yard gain. A lot of nice downfield throws by Purdy. Unfortunately, we took the L. Another wasted drive that we had to punt. That was one of those drives where I thought we would get a touchdown or a field goal. Later, 4 minutes, 50 seconds left in the third, screen pass to Kittle at the 45-yard line. We had the ball at the 45-yard line. Kittle took it to the other 45-yard line. Nice play there. 2nd and 6 later on. Purdy scrambles all the way down to the 8-yard line. First and goal, this was the play that everybody's talking about. We faked the handoff to Mitchell. Purdy rolls to the right. Gets picked off by linebacker number 57, almost a pick six. That's the play that's freaking Spencer Burford ran downfield like a freaking wide receiver. That play totally sucked. See Purdy get picked off. It was almost a pick six, but I believe the defense held on that play. And later on, Purdy threw another interception, man. Tried to hit Ayuk with 13 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game. Intercepted by Wilson on the Bengals. 13 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Burrow has backed up at the 45-yard line, 3rd and 7. Moody forces Jamar Chase to fumble it. Gibson recovers the fumble. Diamador Lenore picks up the ball, runs it to the 18-yard line. For whatever reason, they said it was a completed catch. What did you guys think on that play? Did you guys think Jamar Chase caught it, or he didn't catch it and it wasn't a fumble?
I knew when it happened they weren't gonna let us have it, bro.
That would have been a
same.
nice game-changing play, bro, in terms of momentum and all that, man.
Yeah, no, that was, I'd say, the right call. Unfortunately, because he really didn't have possession of it. But I do want to also real quick say something that you brought up too, though. On that Kittle 32-yard whatever completion right after that, I'm pretty sure there was also a penalty, which was a huge reason why we did not score on that drive.
Yeah, we kill our drives. In these past 3 games, we've been killing a lot of drives due to penalties. Steve Moss says, I hate to say it because I liked Alex Smith. However, Brock is similar in that he shows no long ball threat. I mean, he doesn't have an ultimate deep ball like the ultimate strong quarterback.
I
You can say
disagree
like
with that.
Josh Allen or Mahomes or those guys, but he's showing some confidence lately with his. I mean, last year Trey and I talked on Spaces, and we used to make the argument like what Brock's showing right now, he's not going to get any better. I think this year, even though we lost some games with Brock, I think Brock has shown us that he has improvement, therefore been more aggressive with pushing the ball down the field. What do you think, Trey?
No, 100%. I disagree with that because I think he's tied for first in explosive plays for yards downfield. And if you look at his throw chart, I think he's averaging 10 yards per attempt. So I don't know what people got this mixed notion because it doesn't look like a fireball from Josh Allen or Mahomes that he's not throwing it. But literally the plays before half, he threw it to Kittle on a dart for a 30-yarder. Then you fast forward, he threw another, and Fable said he's staring down. Sometimes he's staring down, but again, at the end of half, he looked off the safety to hit Kittle on the back shoulder for 35 yards. Then again, on the Ayuk play where it hit Ayuk in the face mask, where you're supposed to catch that, he looked off the linebacker to float it right over the top, which for another 25 yards. So, nah, man. I mean, he is moving the ball downfield. The problem is just the timely mistakes in the red zone when you got to take points. So that's all that comes down. But
yeah, he's pushing the ball. He's making some nice throws. These past few games, Ayuk catch a nice passes down the field.
For the fumble that Hiroski said, I think it's funny too because the Cowboys had the same play that they did for the PJ Walker when they said the ball was moving forward and it wasn't a fumble on that scoop and score against the Browns. Literally happened to Stafford and them, and then they called it a fumble for the Cowboys, but for the Niners it was forward progress. I'm just saying, man, the officiating's been horrible. They could have at least given us that one. I mean, I look like a fumble to me, man. They should have gave us that makeup call for a couple games ago and kept it rocking, but that's just how the NFL goes, man.
What I saw was Chase caught it, tucked it, and Ward knocked it out like that, right? So what's the rule? It's one of those judgment rules. And I watched the Steeler game earlier in the morning. Who'd they play? Who the Steelers
Jaguars?
play? Jaguars. Yeah. I saw some questionable ass calls in that game, and I said something's going on this year. I think the refs want to see points. They want to see touchdowns. They want, and like I said, the Niners are a physical team, and they're stripping us of that. Like I said, Ward's been getting toasted, and some of those are questionable. Just let him play, bro. It's not. Some of these is there's contact, but it's not contact where he's moving the receiver. It's not contact where he's grabbing the dude's arm or nothing like that. They're fighting. They're fighting for position. The way the refs, it's no secret that the refs are under a lot of scrutiny this year, and I'm seeing it. And it's affecting us as a team.
Yeah, we got to play better, but there are some weird ticky-tacky calls by the refs sometimes. Let me say what's up to a good friend of mine, Dan Castillo. Great to see you on the live stream. Says, what's up, Bash? Hope you gentlemen are having a good weekend. He also adds, I'm at a loss for words. We have way too much talent on defense to be looking like this. We have way too much talent team-wide to be losing 3 in a row. It is what it is, though. You do lose games in the NFL, man. Just a little reminder, like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to cast your vote on the poll as well on whether or not Steve and Wilk should still be our DC. We got some more comments. Just says, Stephen Moss says, it seems like most of the long passes are yaks and not bombs, though. I mean, he's been hitting receivers in stride on like plays where there's at least like 20, 25 air yards, sometimes 30. I mean, it's not always a yak play, in my opinion. Master in the Craft says, in my opinion, Sean Payton had Purdy. He'll make him into another Drew Brees. Josh Allen is good, but he's overrated. Mahomes and Jackson are solid. Hurts is like Allen. They make costly mistakes. Yeah, I've seen some of the better quarterbacks in this league make a lot of mistakes earlier in the season too. It's not like those elite quarterbacks have been perfect either. If you guys want to add on what I was saying really quick, go ahead, because I'm about to recap the rest of the second half. Otherwise, you guys can go on after I do that. It's up to you guys if you guys have anything to add really quick. You guys good? Okay, cool. So let me finish this up. So after that fumble that didn't count, Burrow 1st and 10 at the 17. Throws it to the right corner of the end zone to Jamar Chase, wide open. He beats Isaiah Oliver, 24-10 Bengals. A few plays later down the road, after a few nice passes to Ayuk, the Niners had the ball at the 14-yard line, 3rd and 5. Purdy was almost sacked in the middle of the field. It runs around like freaking Russell Wilson. And these were some of the plays I liked about Purdy in 2020 when I thought he was coming out his junior year. And this is when Jimmy G went down, and I thought maybe we could get him that year. And this is way before we made the trade to get Trey Lance. And for those of you who say I only love Trey Lance and I hate Brock Purdy, I never hated Brock Purdy. I just got a bit more excited about Lance because it was a top 3 pick, and we gave up the whole farm to get the guy. So lo and behold, we ended up getting Purdy though. So Purdy scrambled all the way to the right, runs towards the sidelines, jumps and throws some crazy throw like Russell Wilson, hits Kittle at the 5-yard line. After that 1st and goal, Purdy scrambles to the right again, throws touchdown to the middle of the field, CMC 24-17. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left in the fourth. So at this point in time, I think, okay, we're on the comeback trail, but Burrow was at the 30-yard line, runs up the middle again, all the way down to the 20. It was just every time we thought we'd stop these guys, they'd run the ball and get down the field, or Burrow would run. All these back-breaking type of plays. Later, speaking of running, Joe Mixon ran for the 5-yard touchdown. He did his high stepping or whatever. At that point, it's 31-17 Bengals. And after that, Purdy drove down the field with a few nice passes to Kittle down to the 26-yard line, but got sacked and fumbled, game over. And that was that, man. That pretty much covers all the top plays the first half and the second half when we went through the box scores and all that. And I'm going to go through and go back and forth with some comments. We'll probably be on here for about 10 or 15 minutes longer, just touch on some comments and some questions in the chat. And for those of you who haven't voted yet on the poll in the chat, please hit that up. Fable JVC says, I'm with you, Bashar. I was pretty excited about Lance too. Everybody was excited. Well, some people weren't because they were too stuck on Jimmy G and they were in love with him. But that's their problem, not mine. He says, I was pretty excited about Lance too. I wish we could have kept him healthy last year to see what he could have did with a full season. Me too, but the ship sailed and that's that, man. We Purdy fell in our laps and it is what it is. We moved on. So great show, guys. It helps the event. Hey, appreciate you, Stephen Moss. Never seen you before, but hey, don't be a stranger. Like and subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate newcomers. And I always got a great cast of friends that always like to jump on with me and do the post-game shows with me. I have all different types of people who hop on with me during the collabs, and I never do a show by myself, but it's just great to know other content creators in the 49er universe who help me out. Chris Osorno is here, says, Joe Burrow made our defense look like clowns. I'm beginning to really doubt Wilkes. Yep, I put up a tweet right after the game basically saying I won't blink an eye if Steve Wilkes is fired. And not that I was this ultimate guy who was defending Steve Wilkes all season long. Thought I did some good early in the season, but if he's coaching and we have Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner running around like guys that don't look like they're just out of position, it's like all these schemes that we're running for Oliver and whoever, like Hufanga, you name it, you name all these guys that were badasses last year. It just seems like once the play is snapped and once the ball is thrown, everybody's just completely out of position once the ball's left the quarterback hands, and I don't know what's going on with that. John V says the Bengals hit midseason form versus San Francisco, and they most likely will contend for the AFC. It seems like everybody is just playing at their best when they play us too. We're not getting anybody's lagging, or these guys are playing their best ball and they're amped up to playoffs, and they're playing up to what should be our standards, and we're playing to the floor. Apparently, we're just looking like shit lately. I don't know. What do you guys think, man?
Well, the Niners had a target on their back when after week 5 they said this is the best team in the NFL. So all these guys, they got a bone to pick with them. I don't blame them. They're gonna come at us. We have to expect it. But the last 3 weeks is unacceptable. Like, it's just unacceptable. We need to get back to basics. We need to go back to what was working for us. Last year and start of this year, they're criticizing Purdy because he was a game manager, whatever. Let's go back to it then. But it seems like now we're asking him to try to win us games. Let's go back to what worked. The deep ball threat. Somebody, I think it was Moss, said, "Oh, those are all yak yards." Let's go for it. It worked. Let's go back to it. I don't care if it's
you can't do much yak business when Debo's out, though. But that was my argument for running Ronnie Bell in the mix, and we're not doing that. I think you can get some yak yards.
Ayuk, get you yak. Kittle, get you yak. McCaffrey, get you yak. Even in my opinion, Juwan Jennings will get you yak. So, like I said, let's go back to what was working. Wilkes is on the deep end. I think he's trying to cover his ass for the what he presented the last couple of weeks, and he's trying to fix some. Stop, bro. Go back to what these dudes do best. Let's see what happens. Let's go back to what was working. I was hoping this week we could have got back on track, and no, it didn't work out, bro. Something needs to change. I don't know what's going on.
Anything you want to add, Shea Lewis, Treyway?
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they got to go back to what works. Find the issues and fix them. Wilkes, I think so too. I think Wilkes is his game plan with like bringing in the match defense and a lot of man and all this other extra variables. Like it's not necessary. Like just run the stock cover 3 press Bell, rush 4, let the Niners do what they do best, keep everything in front of them, and move on. That's it. What was the best thing the Niners did was force teams to throw them outside the numbers. But if you look at Joe Burrow's pass chart, he diced us up in the middle of the game, and I'm just like, nobody ever does that because Fred Warner's the best coverage linebacker in the league. So that has to be something like, is he out of position a lot? And I feel like Wilkes is asking him to do more than what he's comfortable of doing. And I think you just have like Hiroshi said, I don't disagree with it. You just go back to what works, man. Go back to what the Niners did on defense. And Kyle, go back to what you said. Last year and years before. Hey, we are a rushing team. We know that. If we get to 20, if we keep it under 20 passing attempts and we have at least 30 plus rushing attempts, more than likely we won that game. So let's get back to it. Establish the run. What happened to the end arounds from the wide receivers, all these little tight end slip screens, like where they used to have, Kittle fake block, all of a sudden turn around, catch a screen for 5 to 8 yards, a 10, 9 yard. Like we need, where is all that innovation at? Like they need that. You don't need Debo for that. You could do that with a lot of the players you have. So it's just, to me, the excuse that, Debo and Trent are out, so that's why we're only averaging 17 points right now. So they're accounted for another 13. Like, no, that's just excuses. Like this team has to play better. Everybody has to be held accountable. So that's just all I got to say about that.
And these last 3 weeks, we have not played physical ball, bro. We are not firing out. We're not
missing tackles.
Somebody needs to get into that defensive room and tell that defensive line, you guys were all these number ones. Gregory, we bought you here. Hargrave, you guys are the key to this success, and you guys need to get in there, bro. You need to start earning some of that money. They need to light a fire under these guys' asses.
Well, speaking of lighting a fire, because a lot of people make this argument, and I didn't really think it was much of an argument early in the season, but now maybe it might make sense. They're like, get Steve Wilkes out of the booth, get him on the field, and have him communicate with his damn players. Maybe it's getting to that point. I don't know.
Something's got to change.
I agree with. I kind of agree with that though. As much as like childish and like middle schoolish of a take that is, I agree. Get him off. Let him know. Hey, when I run a good play, let's all dap up on the sideline. Let's talk about it. Let's fire each other up. because I think that's something that they're missing is the intensity. Where is the intensity and urgency from this team? The last 3 games, they've had none. And when you don't have that type of intensity and fire under them, you lose games to the Browns and the Vikings, and now the Bengals. But
They
go ahead,
should have.
Archer.
Very true. Go ahead, Anshul.
Yeah, I agree basically with what Haroski and Treyway were saying. We just gotta go back to the basics, go back to what's working. And the one thing I will say is, yeah, Debo's out, but remember what we were doing with Ayuk his rookie year? We were doing some running plays with them. Why don't we try to do some of that? Because Kyle Shanahan hasn't really done that really since Ayuk's rookie year. We got to do that. And yeah, the defense, everybody just needs to be held accountable, look themselves in the mirror and say, we got to be better. You know, even if we don't like what Steve Wilkes is doing in terms of the scheme and it being different, we got to do what's, we got to figure it out. In terms of Steve Wilkes coming out of the booth, yeah, I definitely agree that that should be something that needs to happen. I don't think it will, unfortunately, but when you're going through a season like this and it's a long season, you sometimes need those coaches to fire you up because the NFL's tough and every week's, the different week. So you need to have those coaches behind you to be able to help you go through the season and also just being able to talk to your players from down there. I think that could be something that helps out this defense. So I'm hoping somehow that could happen. I just don't really see it, unfortunately, happening.
It just sounded funny how your voice kind of cracked when you were saying that, but it's all good, man. A lot of good comments in the chat section. Let me say what's up to those guys, see what they got to say. John V says they had zero respect for Wilkes. He did not come from within. They're spoiled. Get your ass down there from your captain's chair, make snap decisions, and adjust on the fly. Fable JVC says he can stare at his Microsoft Surface on the sideline, same as he can in the booth. So the rumor I heard in the preseason is that he likes to be in the booth because he likes to eat and he gets to have food in the booth. That was one thing I was hearing. I mean, the dream in the chat. Great to see you, bro. He says, Bashar, hey, great to have you. Long time no see, man. Yeah, a lot of angry Niner fans. I get it. But I'll say this, though. I appreciate all the faithful who are backing this team up. I do see some hate from Purdy, though. Purdy's our quarterback. I get it. You may have favored another quarterback. I was one of those guys, too. I wanted to see what we had him in at least, just so I could make a decision who was the better guy. But that ship sailed, man. Purdy was balling these first few games. And, statistically, he actually had himself a game. But, there was some turnovers. Defense wasn't playing right. Special teams was making mistakes. A lot of, there were some coaching decisions that were questionable. I still see a guy in Purdy that can lead us to win games. I still see a guy in Purdy that can lead us to win the playoffs. I totally see that. I mean, maybe you guys don't see that anymore, but I do. I mean, Fable JVC says all in on Purdy. By the way, check out the Dreams YouTube channel. It's a good dude. He does I forgot the name of the live stream. He's called Straight Out of the Bay with him and Jay in the Bay and Bayer Baller 18 and Kelts. Check those guys out. They got a good little podcast going. Chris Osorno says, enough of this. We got to do better script. No shit. 3 straight losses, each progressively worse. Thank goodness for the buys here because they need to stop the bleeding, address the serious issues. It sucks that we lost 3 games, but the buy could have came at a better time, especially with the injuries and all that other crap. And, somebody was rumoring earlier that Purdy may have had a concussion. That's fine. We got the bye week to take care of that. Hopefully it wasn't a concussion. No, I'm not trying to say that's fine. Like, oh yeah, another concussion, big deal. But no, it is very serious. I totally get that part. Yeah, plenty of blame to go around. Great comments in the chat. By the way, if you're in the chat, hit the like button. So I know some people didn't hit the like button because we got a lot more views than we do actual people that hit the like button. And on top of that, we got a lot more votes than people actually hit the like button. But either way, do it. Appreciate the engagement. I'm gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. Anything else you guys want to say before we get going?
I'll say something. We used to be a second half team. We used to be a second half team. We'd go into halftime, make adjustments, and we'd look way better. We're going into halftime, coming out looking the same.
Nope.
You're muted, Bashar.
I thought I unmuted myself. John V says, choke on your food. Damn it, we're losing. He's talking about Steve Wilkes. Win and you can eat your heart out. Exactly. You can hit up that buffet. You can be faithful to the buffet like we're faithful to the Bay. Brandon Ferrigno said, what's up, bro? Good to see you. We've been on here for a long time, so I'm talking about trying to wrap this up. But check out his YouTube channel, Forever Faithful Podcast. And Brandon's a great dude. Was out with him over the New York Giants game, our home opener. So good to see you here, bro. 49er Throwback, check out his Twitter page. He's got a lot of awesome throwback 49er highlights on there. Says Kyle is not good after the bye week. Well, hopefully, he better change that. I mean, we're not in a position to lose 4 damn games in a row, dude.
Oh, exactly.
Nope.
Anything you want to say, Treyway?
Nah, man. Just thanks for having me on, Bashar.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
On show, appreciate you guys, and just bye week couldn't have happened at a better time. A lot of soul searching. These guys got to dig deep. And I'm just excited to see the second half of the season, man. But
I'm excited too.
Appreciate you for having me on, man. You guys have a great night. God bless you. All right.
You're welcome, bro. We're gonna shut this down actually pretty soon. God bless you too, bro. Another thing in the chat. 49ers Throwback says Doug Peterson owns Kyle. I see us losing to Jacksonville. I hope not. That was Treyway who was on with us. He also real name is Shane Lewis. If you guys remember him on Rombo show. He's always busy on the Twitter Spaces. If you don't know how to find him on Twitter, just hit me up on Twitter. I'm 49er Minded on Twitter, and you can catch him on the Spaces, and he's always chopping it up and talking Niners, debating people from other fan bases and all that mess. He's very educated in the game, by the way. He just follows all those DBA metrics and all that with the PFF and all those crazy little stats that are totally way over my head. I'm an old school football guy, is what it is. Crystal Soto says, if our Niners are 100% healthy, they win. Yeah, true. It's a big, but hey, it's an if, right? And at the end of the day, the NFL is a violent sport, so not everybody's going to be injured. The better teams find a way to overcome it. The good news is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So do we overcome this slump? We've done it before in the past where we've had losses and we overcame it, and then we were there challenging to get to the dance. So cross your fingers. We'll see what happens. Fired Up 49ers says, we adjusted, we blitzed, and the quarterback spied and it got us pressure. Brandon says, thanks, fam. Yeah, about to wrap this up, man. Anything you guys want to say or anything you want to say about your channel on show before we go?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, of course. And I just really hope this team can figure it out. This bye week didn't come at a better time, especially with, unfortunately, a downhill trend. So hopefully the Niners can also get healthy, get Debo back, get Trent Williams back. I think Trent Williams has a chance to be back because he was questionable, for today's game. But I know for Debo, they said at least 2 weeks. I'm hoping we don't have to deal with the at least part of that. So would love to have Debo back, and hopefully that's gonna, fix at least some of the problems. And yeah, everybody just stare at yourself in the mirror, keep yourself accountable. I think this team also needs to just have conversations with the coaches and the players, right, with their positional groups, and figure out what's going on. But and thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. And my apologies to John V, bro. I saw your text. Saw your earlier text where you sent me the tweet, but totally missed your other text. I'm trying not to look at my phone too much while I'm streaming, and you wanted to jump on. I totally missed that, and I've had you on plenty of other times in the past, so you're always welcome, fam. My bad. If you would have hit me up on Twitter, I would have seen it because I was refreshing my Twitter on my laptop. Just throwing that out there. My bad, bro. We got the Dream says offense has been stale lately. Yeah, it sure has. And when it has been doing well, it's been playing catch me up, and then we'll get these really nice big plays and nice drives, and then we don't finish off our drives because we got too many penalties and their dumb turnovers or whatever. And these great pretty throws that I've been talking about, been hyping up, have been all for nothing at times because we aren't finishing drives, and it is what it is. Anything you want to say, Rorowski, before we wrap this up?
No, just thanks for everyone that stayed up late. Thanks for the is it the Shea Show?
The Shaw Show. I call him the Shaw Show Redemption, or his real name is Anshul, if you want to say that. Either way.
Anshul. Well, good talk, Anshul, and good talk to Treyway. Brought the fire today. Thank you guys for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate all you guys. Been awesome. If you guys, let me just go back and recap what was said, or what the votes were in the poll. Let's go do that right now before we get going. So I'm pulling up the poll right now. What do we got? Okay, if I can, this will pull up for me properly. Okay, so 68. Hang on. It's being funny on me. It keeps resetting every time. Here we go. Should we fire Steve Wilkes was what the poll question was. 31 votes. Yes. 68% of the vote said yes. 22% said no. So it is what it is. Steve Wilkes did not win anybody over today. I'll tell you that much. He just did not, man. He's just, when they kept zooming him on and he was on his tablet and defense was looking like shit. It is what it is. Great one says no. John V says no sweat, bro. It's incredible and perfectly fine that few individuals have a huge impact on this team. At least we know we're getting our money's worth. Dan Castillo says have a safe and fun Halloween. Let's go Niners. Nicholas Akalatis, what's up, Bass? We're about to close up shop, bro. Sorry, man. No, it's really late on the West Coast. You're on the East Coast time zone, but appreciate you. I'm gonna be back on here for sure. Tuesday, gonna be hosting the Bring the Heat podcast with Ryan from No Border Sports Podcast. We're going to be having Mariah from 49 Faithfully podcast. Hopefully she's able to come on. She had a hiccup where she wasn't able to join us last week, but we'd love to have her join us like she normally does. It's going to be 6:00 here on my channel. Fridays is what we do. I do a doubleheader on Friday. So at 3 p.m. it's Balling with Bash and Ted. Me and Ted talks ball. We get on and we talk. We recover what happened in the game and what's going to happen in the future. And 7:00, I'm going to have a baby on with Raj from RSF 49ers. You guys probably all know him. RSF 49ers is big 49er famous Twitter page and this, his famous IG page. Really a good guy, awesome guy. Love calling him a friend. Just a great guy who's given me the opportunity to give time and collab with him. Again, appreciate all the input, all the questions, all the comments from the chat. Without the viewers, without my boys coming on with me, there's no show. I'm not a one-man show. I'm not one to come on here by myself, but I am one to come on here and have a conversation and talk ball, because that is what we do. That's my love. That's my passion. And before we go, we got a great one. 765 is saying, you're going to fire Wilkes, might as well fire Purdy too. Offense been playing way worse. I don't know, man. We'll see. Hopefully, and we get some players to help out Wilkes if we're going to keep the guy, and maybe we do, and just players to help out the offense if need be. Thank you guys for watching 49er Minded. I know we came out on the losing end today, 31-17 at home. It wasn't pretty. You're not going to win every game. Teams that are successful, sometimes they have their losses. I predicted 12-5 for this season. Maybe we're heading towards 11-6. Who knows what the season's going to hold, man. But again, thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. So keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er Minded. And always, it's bang, bang, Niner gang. All you guys better stay faithful. I'm faithful. We take it 3 hours, but we're faithful. Let's go. Let's go, Niners. It's always Niners all day. Let's go. Come on, 49 faithful. Let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We got to do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.